All right, welcome back to our Be Strong show. I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO and Chief Heart Officer for Be Strong International. And I'm so excited about all the things that have happened between last month and this month. Of course, as you know, we had our annual fundraising event called Hearts in Rhythm. If you weren't there, you missed out, but definitely look on our social media pages. You'll see all the action that happened. Amazing awardees, especially our very own Miller men, Michael and Grant Miller. They received an award, a Be Strong Community Award. And so we're so happy for them and all of our amazing honorees. And of course, as you know, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we have an amazing guest with us today. We have Susan Holtzman. She is the CEO of NAMI. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. First of all, just looking at your background and what you've done, I know you've worked at the county and now you're the CEO of an amazing nonprofit organization. Tell us a little bit about your journey to becoming the CEO here.
Well, you know, life's a journey and this has been an interesting one. So I started out, I had my own business. I ran a medical education company, and we worked across the U.S. and internationally. And so that was focused on innovative interventional medicine. And after a while, it was very successful, had a wonderful career with that. I sold the company. Nice. I went back to school, studied gerontology. Because I was very interested in the aging population issues that we're facing. And at that time, the mayor was running for commissioner. So I worked as her volunteer advisor on aging population issues and did that, eventually worked for the Alzheimer's Association. So there came my not-for-profit experience. And then I worked for a short time for Urban Health Partnerships. And then the mayor appointed me as her older adult advocate. And then she added mental health and disability to that role. And in that role, I became a lot more focused on the mental health issues, given that within myself and my family, there's been a great deal of life experience associated with mental illness, substance use disorder. So I joined the board of NAMI. I was on the board for 2 years, and then when we as a board decided that we needed to bring in a new CEO because of the phenomenal growth that the organization had experienced, the board asked me to apply for that position.
Wow.
Here I am.
Here you are. Amazing. Well, I'm super happy for you. And like I said offline, if you ever need any support, we'll definitely be there to come alongside you and support you any way we can.
I appreciate that.
Yes, a nonprofit role as a CEO, it is intense. There's so many demands and so many changes, and stakeholders change, and the political climate changes, and then you have funders that change, right? And so we have to juggle all of that. And I tell people, if you work at a nonprofit as a leader, you can work anywhere, right?
I think so.
Because we're able to juggle so many challenges. So kudos to you for accepting that, especially in a time like this where we know mental health awareness is on the rise. Are there any trends that you're seeing now in mental health that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I think the most concerning thing is certainly during COVID, we saw an increase in people experiencing mental health challenges, depression, anxiety, increased suicide rates, but we also did see an increase in people reaching out and looking for help. And so one of the biggest issues with mental illness is stigma. People don't like to ask for help. People don't like to admit that they may be having a challenge, of any kind. And so reducing stigma right now is the biggest challenge. We're seeing the biggest rise in concern is among young people. So we're very focused on that, and we have a lot of programs that are very much focused on reaching out to young people.
No, that's incredible. And of course, as you know, we work with young people as well. So seeing what's happening when they came back into the schools and working with them and helping them with managing their behaviors and the self-control that was lacking for their, the anger that they felt, the isolation that they experienced, all of that kind of came together. And so the facilitators and the staff, we were dealing with that as well. And we definitely want to partner with you for resources that you all can provide as well. So I think that's amazing. And I'm glad you all are honing in on the youth, because I feel like they were the ones that felt a lot of the pain from being away from their friends and not having the social interaction because everything was shut down. And then, of course, the learning loss on top of that as well. They suffered there. So no, that's incredible. So I want to go back to what you said about stigmas. Why do you think, though, that people are afraid to say that they want help? Like, what are some underlying causes there that you're aware of?
Well, I think in previous generations, I would say, including mine, admitting that you had, I mean, there wasn't a thinking that that mental illness was an illness. It's almost as if people believed it was a choice. You choose to be mentally ill. You don't. So it's a moral failing, not an illness. And so people didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to admit to it. I have a sister who suffered from a serious mental illness, and it was very hard to explain her behavior to other people, and because they would say, well, you should just do this. Well, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
You can't just do something and a person changes. They have an illness.
Right.
And that illness continues to manifest, and so they need to get treatment. So I will say, more positively, we are seeing a lot less stigma. We are seeing people of all ages ask for help. And certainly among the younger population, there is less stigma. They're much more willing to say, I need help.
That's awesome.
I feel depressed. I feel anxiety. My behavior maybe isn't right. So with a lot of our programs, we clearly show this is what is a normal behavior, maybe a normal reaction to stress, a normal reaction, a normal kind of fearful reaction. But if you start exhibiting these behaviors or having these kinds of feelings, like suicidal ideation, for example,
correct,
then you've crossed the line, and this is when it's time to ask for help. So if you see this in yourself, if you see this in a friend or a loved one, this is when it's time to reach out to NAMI, to your school counselor, to your parent, to a friend, for any one of us to reach out for help.
No, that's great information. I want you to share, though, for those who might be watching and don't know what NAMI is, especially the fact that you all have grown exponentially. Tell the audience about what NAMI is and how long you all have been around and the specific programs that you all provide.
Sure, happy to. So NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and I represent our local affiliate, so NAMI Miami-Dade County. So the National Alliance is nationwide. There are affiliates all over the country. We get federal funding to support NAMI, as well as we do a great deal of fundraising. Our walk's coming up on Saturday, and we can talk more about that.
Yes.
And so we offer various programming. As I said, we're very focused on youth. So one thing that we offer is ending the silence, where we go out to schools, to community groups, to youth groups. We talk to young people about, as I said, warning signs, asking for help, when's the right time. And we do that with a trained facilitator and a young person who has experienced a mental health crisis, so that they can share their own experience. So that's our very active program. Contact us. We will come to you. We'll come to your house of worship, we'll come to your school, we'll come to your community center, whatever, and we'll do this program for your kids. We also offer something called QPR, which is a suicide awareness and prevention program, where we talk about warning signs again. Warning signs, what's the right way to respond if you have a friend or a loved one who might be expressing feelings that could indicate suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts. Again, we will come to your business, train your employees, share that information.
Wonderful.
Whoever needs it will come to you, and we'll run the QPR training for you. And then we have, and this is really important, I think, we have our support groups.
I was going to ask you about that, because I'm waiting for you to say support groups, because I saw that on your website, and I think that's incredible what you all offer there.
And the support groups, I mean, I think across the board, I've learned how important support groups are. So for substance use disorder, support groups are extremely important. I worked for the Alzheimer's Association. Those support groups were incredibly helpful. And now NAMI, we have our support groups. So we have peer-to-peer support groups, and those are, everything we're doing right now is virtual. We're looking at going back in person soon, but we're not there yet. But this, for the peer-to-peer, these are people who are living with a mental health condition, can talk to each other in a safe environment, can talk about their experience in this world living with a mental health condition. They can share resources, they can talk about family. And I have a family member that attended those and found it extremely helpful.
That's awesome. Yeah. And is a facilitator a part of that as well, or no? It's completely run by peers.
Part of that, but the facilitator is also a peer.
Nice. Okay.
Most of the people involved in our organization have some experience with mental illness, whether it's their own or their family. But in the peer support groups, these are people who are living with a mental health condition that are facilitating it.
Okay.
So they're just part of the group. And then we have family support groups, and we have them in English and Spanish. Nice. So we have family support groups, again, for people who have a loved one, a friend, a family member who's living with a mental health condition. And so it's not just the support that you get, but it's resources, because navigating the mental health landscape is very difficult.
I think any health landscape, navigating it, it's just a challenge.
It is. It really is.
It's so separated and divided, and there's no one sort of place where you can get the linkages that you need right now. So
and
that's
as much
incredible.
as we are trying to provide that, and we have a helpline that you can call, and we can direct you to services, service providers. But it's that, we went to this place and we worked with this therapist and this doctor that is really helpful when you're dealing with it. Or if, say, we had a situation where someone's daughter was Baker acted for attempted suicide. So there she's in a facility, she's been Baker acted. What do I do? What can I expect? What happens next? You can call our helpline, and we can help walk you through that. And then you can get involved in these peer support groups, and you can talk to other families who have experienced the same thing.
No, I think that's an incredible offering, especially now when people feel so isolated and so alone, and everyone's thinking that, or a lot of people think that it's just me going through this, right? No one's going to understand. And I'm sure when you join the peer support group, you're like, oh my goodness, like there are other people who are struggling with this. It's kind of like me too. Like I can relate, right? And
exactly,
I have a person that I can trust to share trusted resources with. So that's great. That's really amazing. Yeah. I want you to talk about the walk that you all are planning. And we were talking before the show about how intense it is when we as nonprofit leaders are working with our teams to put on these large events. I know sometimes it's about definitely the awareness of the cause, but it's also to bring in dollars for the organization, right? And so we have that dual thing going on. And I want you to share a little bit about the walk and how long you all have been doing it. What are you hoping to raise so that people can know? Maybe there are people that can support and help.
So, sure. So NAMI Miami-Dade County really kind of had a rebirth 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, a new board chair, Susan Racher, came in, and a new board came in, and they really kind of revitalized the organization. And it's from that point that we've seen this growth. So the first walk that was supposed to happen was during COVID. So we did a Walk Your Way where everyone just walked around their yard because they couldn't. So last year was the first one. Really, the first big walk here in Miami-Dade County. And so this year is really only our second one. Fortunately, we have the same walk manager. It was at Museum Park the first time. Now it's going to be at the Marlins Stadium.
Nice.
Starts at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. It's shaded. And some of it's
that's
inside,
important.
So
that's
important to me. I can't be out there.
The shade is important, yeah.
And so we are continuing to grow. We have teams from all over the county, from businesses. We have personal teams. I have my own personal team named after my sister. And so our fundraising goal was $275,000, and we have broken that.
Wow! Congratulations! You had me on the edge. You were like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Are we getting there?" That's amazing.
A couple of days ago, we set a new goal of $300,000.
I pray you guys get there. That is incredible. That's amazing. The team must be overjoyed by that.
We are absolutely thrilled. We have 177 teams, which is also over our goal.
Nice.
The only two other walks that we are competing with across the country now is Los Angeles and San Diego.
Wow.
We are right now the biggest NAMI walk in the country. So
I am so excited for you guys. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And this is the thing. Like, I come from a background of running large events with a professional team. But in a not-for-profit,
I know,
the staff of 12, everybody does everything.
Yep,
and
that's a lot. It's a lot.
Very much feet on the ground, hands in the dirt. We're going to make this happen. But we have an incredible event planned. Joanne Strader is our MC. The mayor is going to come and share a few words with us. John Newcomer from Thriving Mind, which is the mental health provider in Miami-Dade County. That's the funded managing entity. And we have other entertainment coming. We have a K-pop group. We have Taekwondo. We have a Calypso band from an elementary school. We have cheerleaders.
Oh, that is so
all
cool.
kinds of fun stuff. Miami-Dade Parks are providing a kids zone, so bring your kids. It's not too late.
To sign up.
NAMIMiami.org.
Okay.
You can sign up and create a team. You don't even have to donate. Of course, we'd like you to donate, but you don't have to.
Oh, that
you
is
just come
incredible.
there. And every mental health service provider in the county is also going to be there. So if you need information, if you want information, if you're thinking maybe I need to know a little bit more about this is a very safe space for you to come and do that. Come learn, come see what's out there, come talk to people who are very happy and willing to speak about it openly, like myself and our team and all those providers. Do you want to plug Miami-Dade Police Department?
Yes.
Therapy dogs, horse-mounted policemen. The county has a crisis intervention team in the police department specifically to answer mental health calls.
Yes.
They have a team. They're going to be there. The Thriving Mind has funded 4 crisis response teams, non-police connected across the county. They're going to be there. So it's the place to be if you want information about mental health.
That's awesome. I'm really excited for you. That is an amazing feat. You're coming in as a CEO on a win. That is amazing. That is incredible.
Susan Rachel, Kathy Coppola, those are the people that really built us up to this win.
Yeah.
So not me. Next year, I'll take some credit, but I can't.
Next year we'll be back on the show earlier so we can say, hey, let's fundraise, right? No, that's amazing.
May we'll do.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's incredible. I'm excited for you. So, all right. So we're going to switch our segment now to Social Yaks. And Social Yaks is a game tool that was created by Be Strong. And it's all about getting to know people better, especially people that wouldn't normally connect. We're going to get a little deeper today on who is Susan Holtzman, right? So the first level is breaking the ice. And so I want you to pick a card there, read it aloud, and then answer the question. So you're going to pick the blue card there, and we're going to get to learn a little more about you. Yep. And you're going to read it, and then you're going to answer as best you can.
Okay. It says, name a song you identify with. So music is my
go-to
happy place. Yes, absolutely. So there are a lot of songs. I think the one of the ones I really love, it's a Bonnie Raitt song. She's my absolute favorite. She's my idol. And she has a song, I Will Not Be Broken. And that song has really helped me get through a lot of the challenges that we face every day. So that would be it. Bonnie Raitt, I Will Not Be Broken.
All right. Right, because we're going to be strong. That's what that's about. All right, awesome.
Right.
So you can take the second card there. We're still breaking the ice.
Okay.
So let's see what you got there.
What is your dream career and why?
So is it this? Is it this? Is it?
It is right now.
Okay. I was gonna say,
my
the board might say, what is she gonna
dream
say?
career has changed over my career, and I tend to go where life leads me. I loved the work I did in medical education and medical business, until I was ready for something new.
Right.
And then I wasn't quite sure what to do, and then the whole aging population thing came, and I was like, oh, this is fascinating. I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then working for the mayor and really get involved in the mental health issues. And then I realized that my whole life I've been training for this. My whole life I've been training for,
where you are
I
right
had
now.
to deal with mental health issues in my family from a young age. And so
it's amazing. It's amazing how our paths lead us down a journey, even though we're thinking like, we're intentionally part of it in some ways. In some ways we're not, but it all works. It works together so well.
Right.
Yeah.
So remaining open and seeing what comes next has always been my strategy. And so here I am in the perfect career.
Good for you. Yeah. Yay. Go board members. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to go a little deeper. Next level is getting social. So you're going to pick up the brown card here with the yak on it.
Yak.
Yeah.
Oh, I get
yak
it.
is a very social animal.
Okay.
Yes. So read that one and let's see.
This says, what do you do to build your self-confidence? Okay, I want to acknowledge I actually am having a dental issue right now, so I'm not feeling very confident because I feel like I'm whistling when I talk. But for me, what I do is I try to focus on the esteemable acts that I accomplish on a daily basis. So I have a practice of I do a daily inventory at the end of the day, and I think about what did I do for someone else today? What's something that I did? And it could be let someone in traffic. It could be big, it could be little, it could be...
That's big in Miami.
It is
Letting
big.
someone in traffic is big. I hate to say it.
So it was me that let you in.
Just so you know.
That was my good deed for the day. So, and then, and I also asked myself, well, what am I proud of today? What have I done that I'm proud of? Instead of, and I also say, what was I fearful of? What did I react? If I get angry, to me, that's an indicator of fear. So if what made me angry and what was I afraid of? And then I also take a look at, where did I see God today? Where did I see beauty? Where did I see nature? Where did I I try to look at the whole person, and that helps me to refocus on, because I don't know about everyone else, but I think we tend to focus on our failures.
A lot.
That helps me sort of recalibrate.
Yeah, no, that's
confident.
beautiful. That's beautiful. I do that too. And then in the morning, I'm like, sorry, guys, if I said this a certain way, or, you start sending out,
Right.
or you start making phone calls. I think it's great to do that self-check. I think it's beautiful. Awesome. All right. So we're going to go for the green because we're running out of time here. So we're going to dig deeper with the beaver. So let's
the beaver is what?
We're going to dig.
Oh. What would the title What would you title the autobiography of your life? I think of that Paul Simon song. Is it? No, it's a Grateful Dead song. What a long, strange trip it's been. What a long, strange trip. Paul Simon is still crazy after all these years. That's the other one. But, and it goes back to that dream career. I never had a plan exactly. I went where life took me.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing journey, but a long, strange trip.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. I love that question. That's one of my favorites because I always want to hear what people have to say about that. So we'll go one more deeper.
Green. Okay. What is something you think people do not understand about you?
Uh-oh. That's a good one. And your team members are probably watching too.
Well, yeah, my team. So I think they see it, but I have And I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I have this impression that when people first meet me, I'm kind of a small, diminutive. I have curly red hair. I have freckles. People think, oh, she's nice and fun. I have a big smile. But and then I shock them because I have this very serious side. And I have a very business-oriented side. I have a very serious side. I'm very passionate about the causes that I believe in, and I take it very seriously. And so sometimes I think, people's first impression, it's taught me to listen and to not try to get a first impression. I have to wait a few minutes, talk to a person to really understand who they are, because I do get this like, oh, sometimes when I start showing really my true self.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's amazing. And, as a leader myself, I think, it's important that we come into the nonprofit space really understanding that it is a business, right? We do have budgets that we have to meet, and we do have to make sure that we have the top talent that's in our, wheelhouse, and that everyone has the skills. So I think that's great. And I think that as you grow in your role too, I think people will see how NAMI will turn and the incredible work that you all are going to be able to do for the long haul. Yeah. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it's a very complex business, the not-for-profit world. More complex than a regular business, much more.
I say it all the time. So I agree. I'm sure we'll be talking.
I look forward to it.
Oh my goodness. All right. So the last level is called Use Wisdom. And this is where the game flips. And it's really about me encouraging you. So the question says, what's something you will never forget about me? And I think I won't forget the way in which you have dedicated your life to educating others in some facet or another, whether it was the business that you had that was for profit, or even now where you're headed into the mental health space. I think I won't ever forget that you allowed those opportunities to happen to you, and you landed now in a space that I think is incredible for you to give and serve so many more people and touch thousands of lives here in Miami-Dade County. So I don't think I'm going to ever forget how your journey just landed you here. And I'm blessed to know you in the few minutes that I have, and I see your passion and I see the business side, and I think NAMI has a great asset in you. So I'm wishing you all the best. Yeah. I'm wishing you all the best. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's on my list. It's going to go on my list today. My inventory.
I know, right? No. But it's incredible what you've done, because we researched you before you came on, and just how you worked with even the aging population and what you studied, and it's incredible, your work. So I'm excited for you. We'll be in the background cheering you on. Be Strong will be cheering you on. And so if there's any words that you want to share with the audience, anything about the organization, maybe even the websites, any last details about tomorrow, how people could help, support, volunteer, this would be your time to do so.
Great. Yeah. Well, we're always looking for volunteers. So the number one thing is go to namimiami.org, and there you will find multiple ways to reach out to us. And if you're not ready to actually talk to someone, you can look at the website. Many of our programs are online, so you can attend and again be fairly anonymous. So I think our motto is find help, find hope, and we are here for that. So I would ask people, don't hesitate. If you even have an inkling that you need more information about a mental health issue, a mental health condition, please reach out to us. We are here for you. And if we don't have the answer, we will help you to find the answer. And come to our walk. Saturday at 8 a.m.
Awesome. Yes, please support. That's amazing. So at this junction, we will end our show with letting you know again, there is always hope for your situation, definitely you can have access to NAMI's website. We're posting that up as well. And we just want to let you know there's always a new day. There's always an opportunity to start over again. And so we're here to support you all in any way we can. Signing off today, the Be Strong Show, Michelle Shirley, Susan Holtzman, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.